Hey guys, welcome to another HashTagSwag. This is episode 6, I do believe. Yeah, it's 6. And I got a extra long commentary. And the reason for that is simply because it's a very, what's the word? It's a topic that needs to be touched on, I think, because it's so important, at least in my life. And I thought I'd share it with you guys. Therefore, I didn't trim the video track at all. I just kind of like, plopped it on there, and then I'm recording my voice right now. And this is, if you notice, I'm using the F2000, and every one of my other HashTagSwags I was using the A91. And that's because actually this is also another old gameplay. I haven't recorded a gameplay in a while. This is the very last gameplay I actually had on my laptop, and it was fairly well. So I'm basically just wanting to kind of clear it out of here. And get all the A91s out of here too, because I know you guys don't like watching the same damn gun, and the F2000 is definitely a very good gun. Even though the kills were kind of spread sometimes here and there, and I had made some poopy mistakes, and yeah, you'll see it. But I'm gonna try and pace myself during this commentary because I'm only a minute and a half into it, and I still have another 16 or 14 minutes. So. This topic is friendship, and when you think of that, you think of just depending on your sex, it's like the same sex, a guy friend, or I guess you'd call it a girlfriend, whatever. And basically, what a friendship with a guy for me is just a connection. Pretty much, you guys like a lot of the same things. And regardless of what it means to you, just know that it's very important to have really strong connections and friendships with a bunch of people. For instance, I've been friends with certain people for over half my life, and I plan on keeping them my whole life. And those are actually my only friends that I have, mainly because I don't plan on branching out. Not because I can't, because when I moved to my new school, I kind of had to learn to make new friends, but nope, I didn't really need to because I had all my good friends from my old school, and I'm so close to them and so attached to them that there's really no point in even trying, because I was already kind of happy with my friends now. Because we hang out all the time. I know that, well, hell, actually, I take that back. All my friends that I've had, except for one in particular, has at one point in their time over the course of a break from school, like summer break or spring break, Christmas break, whatever, they've all at least spent 4 or 5 days in a row. I know Marcus, my friend Marcus, spent the night 8 days in a row. Noah's spent the night 9 days in a row. He spent the night the entire spring break. But that was back in 07. In my treehouse that I have over at my dad's. That was a fun fucking night. We just like bring my old ass TV in there and had some extension cords, and we played Fallout 3 all night, and we laughed our asses off. We'd go on top of like Tenpenny Tower and just like jump off trying to nail those fucking rock barriers down there, and we'd, I don't know, Fallout's fucking awesome, especially when like you have a good friend like Noah, and we just, oh my god, it would last like 2 hours, and then we'd turn around and do the same thing. I don't know, it'd be like 3 in the morning. We'd have like, sweaty ass shirts, our feet smell like ass, and pop cans all over the place, and we'd just be like, alright dude, I'm sick and tired of this game. We'd plop in Halo 3 and we'd do some Halo 3 suicides with with Arbiter and Master Chief, and it's hilarious because we would look at the very little things, like, okay, we would go on like an edge of a cliff, and I remember this situation every time I think about Halo 3. I always think of the suicides. Noah was always Arbiter, and he would just kind of like stick his sticky grenade at his feet, and like Arbiter's knees are like inverted or like backwards or whatever, so it just like looked hilarious. And then I don't know how it happened, but we would both like kill ourselves with sticky grenades, and our bodies would like plop off the edge and like land on a jackal. but like almost no matter what, our bodies like land on top of each other, like, because like, you know, when you die, like you just kind of shows your body like in a circle or whatever, like a camera's looking on your dead body on the ground. Well, that would happen, and like an hour later, I'd see like Arbiter or Master Chief like land and stick their dick in my ass, and it was hilarious. But yeah, so here's Noah's channel. He's a really good friend of mine. I hang out with him a lot. He's a cool guy. And so yeah, that was the Halo Reach suicides. Moving on to Marcus. Now, I barely ever like go into detail about Marcus, but if you notice in all of my commentaries, I pretty much mention his name once or even twice. And so, you know, I kind of figured that it's probably time that I actually go into detail about who he is, what he means to me, and things like that. Yeah, okay. So, me and Marcus, we didn't really hang out much during the first few years of our friendship, because, like, you know those friends at school that you know them, like, and you call them friends, but you wouldn't necessarily have them come over to your house and like spend the night or whatever. Okay, well, because he used to hang out with Cameron a bunch, and Cameron and Noah used to hang out a bunch, so it was kind of like a group of three, a little three deal there. And eventually I kind of like got morphed into Noah and Cameron, and Marcus was there, and me and Marcus had a lot of commonalities in sports, especially soccer, because I really liked soccer at the time. That was my main sport, and then it was football, and then right now it's baseball and indoor soccer, so you can kind of see the transition. Anyway, so Marcus back then was the friend that I really just called my friend, but I kind of wouldn't have him spend the night. And, you know, that was normal. I didn't really know him back then. And then, all of a sudden, I just kind of started growing up, pretty much. That was back in 4th or 5th grade, and I'm a sophomore now, so, and eventually, over the years, I think it was around 5th, the end of 5th or the beginning of 6th grade, me and him had a bunch of classes together, and it was one of those situations where, it was just him and me and not Noah or Cameron in the class, so whenever we had to get, like, partners for, like, a paper or, like, a group project or something, we would kind of, like, stick together. And basically we kind of just like clicked because we never talked before, so we didn't really know, and we kind of just joked around in the same like manner and stuff. And I mean, for example, if you're a guy and you're with another guy and you're all alone, and I'm not talking like fucking what's that movie? I feel like an idiot. Brokeback Mountain. It's not like one of those situations, but you can be more open and talk about like a fucking nutsack and shit. And if you're a guy watching this, you know you've talked about it, you know you're a fucking perv, yet when somebody asks you, hey, you're a perv, you know that you admit that you're not, even though you know you are, okay? Anyway, so me and Marcus would just talk about that stuff, and it was hilarious. And I can't recall a certain situation, not off the top of my head at least, but anyway, that happened over a period of time, and one day I decided to have him come over, just, you know, play some Halo. And back then Halo 3 wasn't even out, it was just Halo 2, and we basically just looked up some glitches, Halo 2 glitches, and that got us very far in our friendship. And I know that's really sad if you think about it, but I think it's pretty cool myself. He's a really good guy. I mean, I think, you know, he's just a good person, you know. So yeah, and right now, me and him, we play Xbox all the time. Battlefield 3 is the #1 game me and him both play together. And yeah, and he has a YouTube channel, but he's not very active on it. He does comment, but he doesn't upload and stuff. But anyway, click this annotation, and that is him if you want to check him out. Anyway, so the bottom line here is friendship keeps people strong mentally, emotionally, and you need it to stay happy. Okay. And if you think about it, just tell yourself, okay, I have no friends. What does that make you feel like? It makes you feel sad, lonely, eventually you'd get depressed, and I've been there, you know. I moved to Tip away from my friends. My parents got a divorce, and I didn't talk to my friends except for Marcus every once in a while about my habits sometimes. I wasn't, well actually I think my Xbox activity kind of sped up a lot. Every day I'd go home and kind of just barricade myself in my room and play some Xbox, and that's how I got all the emotional stress away from things. And after a while, since divorce was new to me, I realized that friends was the way to stay happy pretty much. And so I'd go to my dad's more, and I'd just start having friends over. I mean, yeah, we'd play Xbox, but just laughing and hearing a friendly voice, that's what keeps you going, and you really need that. Now, since we have about 3 minutes left, or no, 4 minutes, I want to talk about an important topic. And most people watching this is obviously not my real life friends, so you guys won't really know what I'm talking about here, but my real life friends definitely will. They all know that I moved to a new school with my mom, and that was about a half hour away from Brookville, which was my old school. And freshman year, when I moved there, I already knew I was going to be there, but at the end I told them that, hey, I'm going to come back to Brookville, and that was the actual plan. I had the papers ready, and I signed up and everything. And 3 days before sophomore year started, my mom took me out of Brookville schools and put me back to the Tip. And that is the flat out truth. I've never told any of my friends that. And honestly, if you're a real life friend right now watching this, I didn't know how to tell you guys, so this is obviously like the easiest way to tell you guys. So anyway, moving on. And it's almost the end of sophomore year now. Okay, well, I'm just gonna kind of flat out say it. I went to court last week. It's like the 28th right now, and I stood in front of a judge and told him that I wanted to live with my dad and go to Brookville schools, and he said that was fine. So as a junior, I'm going to Brookville schools for sure. Signed the paperwork, and yeah, so like I said, I really didn't know how to tell you guys. I feel like a douchebag for saying it over the internet, but yeah, so I don't know how else to say it, but I'm really happy about it. Of course, I'm still gonna have my friends from Tip, stuff like that, but I'm really glad to be back in my hometown. It's a really good feeling, and I got a lot of opportunities here. Even though before I left it was a lot different than what it is now, I don't really care. As long as I can be with my friends, like my lifelong friends, then that's all that really matters to me. So yeah, Noah, Marcus, and I mean, I didn't really hang out with Joel that much. He came over once and we played fucking, God, what was it? Stubbs the Zombie. That's what it was. Stubbs the fucking zombie. That was hilarious. It was like a PlayStation or an original Xbox game. Yeah. Anyway, Noah and Marcus, they're my best friends. I mean, I don't like to single people out whatsoever. I'm not like that. I try to be nice to everybody. But they are definitely two of the friends I'm going to keep my entire life, you know. If I need some help, even if I'm 30 years old, you know. What's wrong with going to a friend's house and drinking a damn beer and, you know, just hanging out talking about shit? I mean, I don't think that's wrong whatsoever. Parents do it now. Why would they have friends over and drink beer and play music real loud? You know, they do it for a reason, and I'm not saying I'm going to get drunk every night with Noah and Marcus, but what I'm saying is that they're going to be my lifelong friends for a long time, and I expect to hang out with both of them a lot more in the future, especially the 2013 year when I can drive like a lot more frequently. Because I'm going to, before this minute, this minute passes by, I'm going to touch up on this one last thing. I have my temps currently, and I was like 2 days away from getting my license, and my dad hit a fucking deer with a car and fucking the deer exploded. It was like a blender tipped sideways and like shot on the car. We had to hose it off and everything. It was fucking nasty. So I don't have my car and I couldn't get my license. But, you know, yeah, so now that I'm in the city of Brookville, it should be much, much easier. But, yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this commentary. It was really long. Alright, so thanks for watching, guys. See ya.